So hello and welcome to TicketyPrue. This is our second segment, and I know I was going to talk about social transition, but we'll talk about that another day. I've had a lot of requests to talk about pronouns. Oh, the dreaded word in the media at the moment. Everybody, let's start up about clearing up what pronouns actually are. So I would say, in simple terms, pronouns are how somebody expresses their gender identity and how you refer to them. So mine are she and her, whereas others are he, his, him, and others are they, their, them. It's really simple, down to the fact sometimes I get a little bit annoyed about the hoo-ha around it. It makes no sense. I mean, first of all, if someone is outwardly expressing their gender identity or have told you their gender identity and what they would like to be referred to as, why would you then ignorantly, and I'm not saying this is all the time, excuse me, I'm looking a bit like Pat Benatar on crack today, finished another night shift, hence the vino. Why would you then outwardly go and use a different pronoun? I mean, put it this way, the amount of times here we go. It's the touchy subject for a few people, me included. There are certain situations which I personally have said, do you know what? I'm not gonna, retaliate or bring somebody up because, I've gone all silent. What is wrong? Me? Not knowing what to say? Scrap that, let's start again. There are certain situations which obviously I will let go. For example, my grandmother, love her dearly. She has been so down with all of this, yet on the phone every now and then she will say him, or I overheard her speaking to my mother, and my mum will correct her, so will my sister, blah blah. But me, I don't really bother, and I don't know why, it just doesn't faze me. I think, she's 75 years old. She's been really, really down. She's not doing it out of ignorance or being nasty and stuff like that. It's just a slip of the tongue. And I'm not gonna, bring her up on that because the rest of the time she's fine. Does that make sense? I think that can change dramatically when somebody is deliberately doing it. And I think you'll always be able to tell when it's deliberate. I had an incident, for example, when I was at a pub. I was outside having a drink and this girl had been there all night for some strange reason, didn't clock I was trans, and had been chatting away like, love this girl, she's so amazing, love her, blah blah blah. And then it came up in conversation with somebody else that I was trans, and then all of a sudden she started calling me him. He's alright, yeah, I like him, he's nice, he's really, really chatty. And it was like a deliberate. That for me, that's when it gets me. It's like, you don't know me. You didn't know me beforehand. I've met you tonight. You've referred to me as her, she, the girl, the lady, all night. And now you do that? Like, can somebody please, in the comments below, if you've experienced that, please let me know, because is it just me? Or does everybody have that? Is that something that I have to expect? What is going on with this hair today? Thought I'd try a bandana. Didn't work. Never doing it again. It's just... it puzzles me sometimes. I mean, it's not hard to respect that. It happens a lot in our own community as well, considering I have seen people refer to a drag queen when they're in drag as she. Yes, girl, she, love her, love this bitch, she's gorgeous, she's fabulous. And then as soon as they're Out of drag, him, he, his, fine. Or they, their, them, absolutely fine. So if the switch is so easy to do, why is there so much of a problem in getting it when it's a permanent transition, you know? Is that just me? I don't really know where to stand on that. It's not... I wouldn't worry so much about making a slip up. A slip up, at the end of the day, as soon as you've done it, you realise, you go, I'm so sorry. 99.9% of the time, the person involved will be like, it's okay, don't worry. Or, you know, if you're confused or you're not sure what someone's pronouns is, just ask them. It's a lot easier and politer to ask someone what their preferred pronoun is rather than assume and get it wrong the entire night and really, really upset somebody who you could have a blossoming friendship with, or, you know, you could be dating them and still not quite know, or in any situation. It could be a friend, a colleague, someone you meet out on a night out. You know, it doesn't really matter, but if you're unsure, the best thing to do is ask them. I mean, I've done it before. I do it to other trans people or people who are non-binary or gender non-conforming, and it can be, you know, if you don't ask and you're not aware, it can be a minefield. So, my personal opinion, and this isn't the opinion of every single person in the LGBTQIA plus community, and I've said that in video before, and I'll say it again in every video, these are my opinions. And if I'm wrong, then please, I would like someone to let me know, because I am still learning. I still sometimes get it confused. I mean, there was a time where I was so nervous of messing up somebody's pronouns that if I wasn't 100% sure on what their gender representation and identity was, I would just refer to everybody as there, or them, or they, as to not offend somebody. Which is probably the complete wrong way to go, I know that. But I just thought at the time, you know, it would save them the upset, me the embarrassment of getting it wrong. But I know now the best thing to do is ask. There's no harm in asking. And then that way you're respecting them, and they will hopefully have more respect for you for just plucking up the courage to ask. So, you know, do you know what? This person actually cares about my feelings and how I want to be presented, or how I do identify, that they've got the courage to ask. And I think that will go a long way. I think it has with me. I mean, there's been a few times where I've been out and I've not been quite sure. So I've asked in a way that's not like completely obvious. I've not blurted it out in front of 30, 40 people. Sorry, what's your pronouns? Are you him, her, they? That's kind of rude. Okay. Do it on a sort of have a little bit of sense about how you're asking this. Think about if someone was asking you that. You know, it could be seen as good to a very small amount of people, but don't forget sometimes it can be hurtful to just, you know, say it. I mean, there's some people that don't want to have that conversation in public. A lot of people, you know, I get awkward. I get awkward if I was like in the middle of a shop and somebody asked me and it was really loud in front of a load of people, I would find it awkward. But if they took me to the side and said, look, I don't want to say this in front of everybody, I just want to get it right, so I don't mean to, you know, I don't want to say something wrong and offend you, anything like that, then I'd be okay with it. I think people, the media especially, are making it out to be so much more difficult than it really is. It's not difficult. It's having common courtesy, and if somebody turns around and says, my pronouns are she, her, you know, or they go, mine are he, him, his, or they, them, their. Have the courtesy and basic human respect to respect that and use their pronouns. It's not hard. Yeah, I kind of think that's pretty much it. As I've said, if I've got anything wrong, or if I'm a little bit dated in anything I've said, please please comment or message me. You know, it's something everyone's learning together. Even the community don't have it completely 100% right. Just because I'm trans doesn't mean I get everything 100% right. No way. I'm learning just as much as everybody else. But these are what these videos are for, to help not just you guys, but me and everybody. You know, this isn't a don't do this, don't do that. Last thing I want us to learn and grow, not just the LGBTQIA plus community, but as the community in general. You know? Makes sense? Probably not. It's been a long night. But no, people can have slip-ups. Like my mum, she does it. My sister every now and then does it. People I've known for years and years and years still do it every now and then. Not every time someone slips up is it an attack on you. So I do think we need to calm down on that a little bit, because there are people that as soon as they could be using your right pronouns correctly for God knows how long, and they do one slip up, and you do get people that just go absolutely mad. You need to chill, because they didn't mean it intentionally. It's not because they're being ignorant. Sometimes, you know, it's the way I look at it is, for 24, 25 years, I was being referred to as him, his, you know, all that. So out of habit, people would call it, and habits die hard. It is hard to break a habit. I get that. So I think sometimes we need to just relax a little bit and not make it World War III. But if someone is repeatedly doing it, especially if it's on purpose, then just go, do you know what? This is what it actually is. Please respect that. Yeah, just don't fly off the handle. That's what I think that's kind of it. As I said, if there's anything else, please message me or leave a comment below and I'll reply to it. But thank you. See you later.